cases from, let's say, the business and IT connection, which I think is really good for you. If you have, I think, this, let's say, field, I think it's
definitely
good. And
so we are now streaming online on YouTube as well, and I would request the Honorable Chairman to start the program, please, by welcoming the panelist. Sir, Chairman, sir. Hello, Nawab sir. Hello.
Leader sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, please.
I'm here.
Kindly welcome the panelists and please start the program.
Okay. Welcome, Dr. Janvik. I'm very happy that you are joining us today at this important juncture, and the whole world is locked down. In fact, it's a great opportunity for us to avail these moments with you. I'm sure your guidelines, your ideas will benefit our community in India at large. And we, without wasting a single moment, invite you to start the deliberations today. Over to you, Dr. Janvik.
So, sir, let me start first.
Let me just put one thing on record that Dr. Vesna Demnojevic is a full professor and head of Business Case Center of Faculty of Organizational Studies, University of Belgrade. And she had been kind enough to join with us. And I also thank, before we start, really to make this event feasible, Dr. Professor Tariq Intezar, who happens to be our own university alumnus and my own student. So I'm feeling a sense of pride, in fact, being the part of this celebration. I would request the panelists to please initiate the discussion.
Okay, so let me start first with thank you, sir. Thank you very much for inviting us for today's webinar. Such a beautiful, such a lovely webinar today we have, and it's really indeed an honor for me that to address to my alma mater, and also I'm grateful to my Honorable Dean Professor Imran Salim sir, and also the Chairman Professor Nawab Ali Khan, Aligarh Muslim University. And also, I'm thankful to Vesna with me, the co-speaker of this seminar on this teaching pedagogy and cases, solving business cases. So here I'm going. I won't take much time to discuss more, but because time is very short and we have, I will just cover up about the objective of the webinar, and also the importance, the concept importance of case study, why case study is important for our students. And also we'll try to cover up with this the what will happen with the after COVID, with the COVID-19, where the government, we need to come up with the government to come up with the business, government and university to work with as strategic partnership. So here I have some slides to show you with the participant. So let us have some slides so that it will be more effective to start with. So this is basically a slide we have, and now I'm coming to the main objective of the webinar. So the main objective of webinar is basically to know, because this is our first webinar, so it's better to start first with the concept and importance of case study, and later Vesna will share her experience, and also with she will give some more example related to the Indian industry, particularly with the automobile industry and hotel industry, with her experience, and also with so that we have the main objective of seminar is to the concept and importance of case study. So basically, case studies, why case study is important, we must know that the case study, why we use business cases basically. So we must know first when we are going to start with the case study, we must know the clear objective of the case study. And if we have the clear objective of the case study, then we can also start with, as a teacher, we must start first with the learning outcome, the learning objectives, why we need this, what will be the learning outcome from this case study. And once we start with the case study, we must try to know the analysis part, like the market analysis, the industry analysis. And the most important part is to know the decision dilemma. The decision making is very important for every manager. It varies from the finance manager, marketing manager, human resource manager. So analysis is very, very important. Or such as we are like in the case of marketing, like we are using the case study of marketing. So we must know about the market and what area we are going to do with, such as like supply chain management or some other like related to the digital marketing or some other. So or we are using some model such as like we are using the Portal 5 factors model if we are applying with this. So and also we must have a knowledge about the product innovation strategy, because if we are using or teaching the case study of marketing, we must know the strategy of pricing decision strategy. We must know the product innovation strategy is very important. And finally, we must know the social dimensions. Social dimensions are very, very important to understand the case study. If we are well prepared with this case, then we can also start with. So the recipe of the case study is basically start with three things. Basically, the first start with the problem, then it comes to the solution, and finally we always come with the results of the case study. So there are three main ingredients of the case study recipe. We must try to explain with our student. Initially, those who really want to learn the case study, at the initial stage. So later, then so this is the main part of the case study, and we must know the learning objectives, and also try to know the target audience, who are our target audiences. And also teaching techniques also required, that how teaching the instructor is going to start with the strategy, and how teacher he's well prepared for using case study in classroom. Okay, he must prepare with the teaching notes, he must prepare with the research notes, so that it can start. And role play is also very important role, that how teacher is going to start, how teacher is ready to ask the student to come start the while teaching the case study or using the case study. The role plays a very crucial role for case learning. So now we are coming to the as because this is the time that we are all talking about the COVID. So to better to understand the COVID impact on the future higher education, teaching and learning with the business cases. And so we also try to cover with the some sectors in the case study, and in the other slide, like health sector or like other sectors. So and also how to use consulting approach in case solve example from practices, because practices are required. We must know once we start with the theory with the practices. So then how to prepare for the future career path with the COVID-19, getting competitive advantage, teamwork and communication. So if we are ready to know, we must know that how we are strong with the competitive advantage, so that we can face the challenges. So let us come with the second slide. We have 1 minute. So the introduction. So we are coming with the introduction. The main issue of institution from higher education is to help students to develop, educate, knowledge and skill to become a responsible member of society. So it is our duty. It's our duty of the institution. We must know. We must develop our students so that they can face the challenge in future. So future uncertain, they can in future they can face the challenge, so that they can become a responsible citizen to the society. So then we come to the another important perspective is to support teaching staff in the process of preparing active teaching in the classroom. So the role of the government, the role of the institution, the role of the university administration, that how they are providing facility to the faculty, to the instructor, to the facilitator, that how teacher are delivering the lecture, or especially the focus more on the teaching pedagogy basically. So it is very important that university administration must focus and to train the faculty to motivate them, to develop them, and that how they are using their experience, and how they are using their teaching pedagogy in the classroom. So and also it is very, very important that it's very important teachers to know that how teachers they are choosing cases from different case database, such as such as like Harvard business cases, such as from BBICC, Belgrade Business International Case Competition cases, and also from Emerald business cases, that how teachers are using the best cases from different fields such as marketing, HR, and other cases. So it is very important, and assessment is a major issue, that how teacher is going to go for assessment for judging the best talent from for during this case study. So, and also very important is the strategic partnership, that institutions, universities, government, businesses must come forward and to start doing collaboratively. That is very important, particularly in this scenario. This is COVID-19 pandemic. It is very important that everyone must come forward and to face the challenge, because history has shown, after a crisis the new opportunities appear. It's very true. Such as new economies, industrial innovations, new way of doing business should be new way of living businesses, doing business could be a possibility. So, but the disappointment part is that the health sector showed a very disappointment, because we were not prepared. Even the developed countries are not prepared to face such challenge. Why? The research are failed. The well-established institutions from Europe to America are failed. That they are not basically to face the such challenge. It means research was done nothing in past. So we need to develop our institution to our student to work collaboratively in the form of strategic partnership with the institution, businesses, and also with the government, so that we can start working more effectively to more focus on innovations. So education, this health sector is really a big challenge that we can develop, we can come up with more innovations. Like we can more, and like we can develop we motivate our student institution with collaboration with the testing kits. We can also develop the mobile applications, and also develop ventilators, also with robots also, and also work with more on with this come up with a new medical products, so that it will be helpful to other countries. So we need more pace of innovations, not quantity, but also in quality and the scale to be competitive. So that if we do, because we need to this time we don't need to more focus on this the quantity of products to develop for with innovation. No, time is to focus more on the qualitative innovative product is very important, so that it would be helpful too. So it is all possible only when we start doing with collaborative with the strategic partnership with the businesses, government, and educational institutions. So let's come to this. It is observed that, so as I said, that response strategy is very important during this COVID-19. It's very important, like as I said, that medical and hospital innovations are required, and innovation to support government, central government and state governments are very important. New product services for COVID world. COVID has reshaped business, so personal behavior and customer expectation in a massive way. So here with this, how people are so conscious about their health. You can see this. You can see here in this cartoon that how the business manager, the executive is operating his business, and the customer is asking for, where is your face mask? So see, so keep in mind that a company is producing whatever they are offering the service and product to the people, that how they are cautious for this public, providing extra benefit to people, like in the form of health and all. So the awareness is very important to go, because public are more cautious with their health. And so let's come to this. As I observed, during this my research for the last 10 days, I tried to find out with different sources, where I found that some companies are going parallelly with the public, with the society, and this shows the company is maintaining the proper communication with the customer during lockdown. So 3 overarching themes are visible in the communication during lockdown. That is togetherness, how companies they are together with the society, with the people, with the customer, and how caring they are, and how companies they are using with the word, using with the different messages or different slogan, the punchline, with the fighting talk with the customer to fight with this COVID, this pandemic. In most of the countries, consumers were receptive and preferred the brand using clear messages. Government can learn from the consumer psychology when it comes to public health messages. So these are, and I have one more. slides. So togetherness, caring, and fighting talks are very important. At how company and most of the companies, especially like IKEA, like Nike, the shoemaker company, and Adidas, Coca-Cola. These are the companies. They are parallelly going with the customer or with the society. More focus on this societal values are very important, so that now consumer are recognizing or acknowledging to these companies, and they are in touch. They are parallelly going with the business with this during this lockdown. And let us come with the last slide. In recently, that see how creative the company called Nike. Nike is just using this ad during the time of lockdown or pandemic, that just do it. The slogan of Nike, the renowned, the one of the most top company, the shoemaker company, during this lockdown, staying at home is so easy. So just do it. Just putting the more focus, but just do it. So how people they are accepting this message with a slogan. But recently, in few days back, it was happened in there was an incident happened in the United States in San Francisco on May 13th, that how the policeman killed one black American because of some anti slogan against the government, against the president. Then how black American was killed, and how the company, they had shifted their message from just do it to don't do it, don't do it. So the company is going there. A company is going apparently with the people of Americans. So Nike, who just do it slogan, is known worldwide, has waded into U.S. social justice issues. In San Francisco, as I said, Nike has taken a stand against racism with the Don't Do It campaign. A twist on his famous catchphrase, a protest against police brutality spread across the United States. So how these company, they are trying to win the heart of the customer, and also how the company, they are trying to create to place the message, or they position the brand or name in the minds of customer. So see, during this lockdown, during this crisis, that how these companies are going and doing their business in other way, that how companies, they are doing business and offline, that to go with the people. So this was really, I mean, the message that we have received. And also we are, and after this COVID, we can have a go for with these cases from different ranges, from different areas or different sectors, like such as like from marketing, HR, or other. So this was my, I mean, the small presentation.
Thank you, Professor Tariq.
Yeah.
I think case study had always been an issue of vital importance, and one of the important techniques used across the world by the teachers.
Very
I strongly feel that given the fact that COVID-19, we are staying back, perhaps the students are deprived of visiting the industries, and therefore case study has become even of more importance, because through case studies you are being able to create an environment into the mind, a stimulation of the and the aura of the situation, which is created in the mind of the student, so that the comprehension is facilitated. This is not just about the rote education system, but a sense of understanding and comprehension, which is of vital importance from the case study point of view. And it has the importance of the case study, I believe, has strongly magnified, has really been glorified during this COVID period, because of this change in the human behavior. And I think in the times to come, the movement of the humankind would even be more restricted. And I think, therefore, the case study would get more importance. I would now invite Professor Vesna to please have the comments. Vesna, please.
Thank you so much. I really want just to thank you, first of all, for the invitation, to Dean, to Professor Riemann, and also to Professor Tariq and the chairman. I'm really, let's say, glad to be here all with you. I just need to share my screen if it's possible. Just I think that.
Dr. Tariq, please switch on your screen. Switch off.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute, sir.
Sure.
I like what Professor Tariq stressed. It was really interesting and really good, that we need to think, let's say, about a new situation now, how we will teach our students. And I'm really sure that it's a challenging task for both sides, let's say, for teachers on one side and for students on the other side. Because I think the things now will be faster, let's say, and we need to find response to provide them adequate knowledge for them to find the right job after finish, let's say, their education. And I'm sure, like, let's say, as a really large country, India has, let's say, the youngest population, which is really, let's say, advantage that you will, let's say, also have opportunity to find a way how to, let's say, use this advantage and to, let's say, grow more as a country. I'm really happy. Now, Tariq, can we start? Yes, I think now everything is okay and we can start. Okay. Okay, I'm really happy to be here today with you, and I want to first of all to say big thanks to the Dean, Professor Iman Salem, for Dean Faculty of Commerce, and also Professor Tariq. He is Associate Professor in the University of Petroleum and Energy Study. I also want to thank the Chairman, who is also here with us, for, let's say, hospitality that you provide me and this opportunity to share my experience with you. What I want to stress, I visited 47 countries and I travel all around the world. I like Asia countries, and what is really interesting, my job is to prepare, let's say, students to just think different and to solve the business cases all around the world. What I can emphasize from the experience, we learn a lot from different countries, we learn a lot from different companies, and what is typical today, we just want to, let's say, point out what will happen now after this crisis. The brief agenda is, let's say, teaching and learning challenges with business cases and COVID-19 impact on the future of higher education. Second, I want to emphasize is how to use consulting approach in case solving, and I prepare, let's say, 3 examples from the practice. Another important last is how to prepare for the career path after COVID-19, and I will explain you how to create your personal advantage, connect with best people, and adopt your communication to be successful. First of all, let's start with the first thing, teaching and learning with business case studies. The COVID-19 impact on the future of higher education. What is crucial to be aware? First of all, you need to find the right balance between online and a lot of university now during crisis just keeping to teach online, and we need to find the challenges how to, let's say, teach interactive in online classes. That will be really good because we want to engage our students to discuss and to provide them feedback on things that they also have as their opinion. The second thing is the higher education should provide a real knowledge. One, is most important as students because they need practical knowledge and skills for getting job or starting their own startup business. And secondly, managers will also need some executive course for new skills on some guidelines because the necessary thing will be hello to create more money and to cut costs. And the last thing which is important of the higher education is the things that the global market and the India market, job market, for companies and for individuals. Is they need to answer to the question how to position themselves among others. That will be the crucial things to know. Now I'm passing to how to use consulting approach in case solving. As about the consulting approach, we need to understand based on analysis We need to find the problem statement. And let's start with restaurant business. If we talk about any food restaurant in the world, we can just say like problem statement is my restaurant is not profitable. And you have two options. First option, you can improve this situation to increase revenue stream, to increase revenue. And another thing is you can reduce cost. How you can increase revenue? You can increase the number of orders, you can increase the menu prices, and how you can reduce the cost? You can, for example, reduce the rental cost, the salary cost, or some material cost. But now, in the COVID time, what happened? Restaurants cannot provide their services because the inhabitants are at home. And we have the new occasion, stay at home, eat from home. COVID-19 situation, restaurant response, you need to call some delivery service to provide you food at home. And you can see the model here of one of the famous, let's say, delivery, Wolf, with 3 stakeholders. You need to understand the business model of this delivery service. You have the restaurant, you have the carriers, and you have consumer. Consumer order, let's say, with application, something that they want to eat, some menu, and you have some delivery service that provide you this at home. But you really need to understand in this model, what is the give and get side, okay? For example, you want something to eat and what you expected from delivery service. You expect great purchasing experience. You need to provide the money and the cost of this cover delivery fee, restaurant share, and also the delivery share platform. They also need to earn some money. Also for the restaurant, they need to, let's say, partner with delivery services, which is really good. And they will, based on that, have possibilities to also to provide service during this crisis, COVID-19. They also have opportunity to provide some marketing for restaurant, which is also really good. And how they position, it's also based on their total consumer experience. For the delivery service, what is important? They need to provide the food on time. They need to have, let's say, people who will provide this food, and they need to think about this. Then they need to find people who are ready to do this flexible work, to know the restaurant map that they deliver the food. I investigate and find that you also in India have a lot of, let's say, these food delivery apps. And I found these 5 that are most, let's say, famous: Zomato, Foodpanda, Just Eat, Swiggy, and Fasos. But also I found out that Amazon entered, and also they provide, let's say, food delivery in India. Now we see the changes because yesterday we only eat in, let's say, the restaurant. Now this delivery service will increase also after COVID-19 because people feel like safety and healthy to stay at home and to eat from the home. Another important thing to emphasize here, that a lot of companies decide to work from home. For example, they just see that they have, let's say, smaller costs if their employees work from home. Google, let's say, also explained that they will provide $1,000 for each employee to buy the office furniture for their home. And this is something that the office furniture will grow because they will buy tables for the for home usage. This is also another important trend in the COVID-19 situation. Now, when you ask yourself how you can reduce monthly shopping expenses using the consulting approach, you finding the options, how you can do it. First option, you buy fewer items. regarding the things that you want and need for, let's say, your household. You can buy fewer items of food, clothing, entertainment, and we know that the travel industry is really in trouble now in this situation, that all the people stop traveling because of this, let's say, crisis. And this is the way how we can reduce monthly expenses. Another way is to pay less for same quantity of items. Buy lowly quality items, and that will support, let's say, this value for money products and some cheap private label products, and also to buy more items at discount sales, which is, let's say, common to find some affordable things. Now, when we conclude and find one, let's say, good examples how restaurants reshape their business using more delivery service, let's move to the industry level business case. I know that India is famous, let's say, and the growing opportunity in India is really in car industry. This is the way that, why I just choose the car industry. According to a report of McKinsey, the economic impact of COVID-19 in India will be really different comparing the different industry sectors. Now, you can see that what will, let's say, change the most, the aviation industry will change the most. And what is also interesting to elaborate, that the lower impact will be in the sector like IT and pharmaceutical industry. We know that India is really strong in providing the strong IT service. Now, take a look and try to solve, let's say, mini case about the car industry. You can imagine that you work as a manager, as a dealer in some dealership, and you're selling the car. Now, you should respond to these three questions. First question is, what is your potential target group? Second question is, what kind of offer you will sell to this target group? And the last, but let's say the important one, is to define your key performance indicator for dealers' new car external and internal perspective. Why this is important? To have, let's say, good evaluation of your results. Let's start with the first question. Your potential target group for buying the car. In a lot of discussion with students and manager that we discuss a lot of people will tell, okay, drivers are potential target group, but it is too general. Now moving on, maybe we can tell, okay, in India we have a lot of young population, and maybe the young people will be potential target group. But also, if we discuss another possibility, maybe business people will be a good target group because they have more money to spend and buy car. Now, considering all of this opportunity, when you evaluate what will be, let's say, your priority and your decision, what will be your target group to focus on, you should have in mind another question. All of these, let's say, all of these possibilities are only individual, okay? This is the one person. And if we discuss, we can sell only one car to them. Now, what is important to understand? We need to also find possibility to sell this, let's say, to the companies. Maybe some business companies will be our target group, or maybe some government agency will be our target group, because they can buy more than one car. This is really important to understand, because if we focus only on the one target group, we should also try to, let's say, elaborate and evaluate all opportunities to be sure that we can provide a lot of revenue to the companies that we are working for. The second question is portfolio for the car industry. Let's elaborate that. It's not only important to understand the sales of the new car sales. What will happen? Maybe in this crisis, people will buy more used car. because the price for them will be lower. Another important things, if we discuss about car industry, maybe we'll focus on the service industry and the customer that we already have in our database. This is a way how we will contact our already user of our car and try to provide some action with them and try to provide some possibility, for example, like buy new car and you should provide all car, let's say some cross-sell opportunities. And the last part of the car portfolio should be, let's say, parts and accessories, because you know that you have a lot of suppliers. In this COVID-19 period, also the suppliers need to also provide all necessary things for the different, let's say, car manufacturer. We are aware that the India car industry is, let's say, that you have a lot of Japanese players in your market, but what is also crucial to know, when you have target group, when you know what are you selling, the third thing, you need to understand the key performance indicator, how you will really follow the results of the strategy that you set, that you want to do. And now we have on the slide, you can see a set of key performance indicators for the dealer, let's say, and what is crucial. You have customer side and you have internal company side. Now you can see from the customer side, starting from customer acquisition, you need to follow up a lot of, let's say, KPIs, numbers of contacts, number of lead contacts, number of, let's say, you should follow the cost for acquisition, how much money you will spend to find new customer. Also, you need to understand all these things, how you need to, let's say, do pre-sales moment, and after that the sales and delivery of sales, and after the consumer, let's say, they buy the car, you need to also provide them opportunity to stay with that exactly the same brand, which is, let's say, important for the customer retention size, that you can earn more money from the current customer. On the other side, you need to follow the, let's say, the process and the KPIs from the dealership internally. You need to handle all the things regarding the order planning, because you need to, let's say, to think about the dealership. Do you have enough car to sell? And also some logistics and things, which is really good about the showroom, the stock management side, and also the sales. And the end of the process, you need to understand what is the market share and what is, let's say, the sales revenue that you can get from the sales on the India market. When we just now figure out what we know from when we solve the industry case, it's not really easy, because you don't have the typical brand, but you really need to understand the trends in the industry, and you really need to understand the possibility, how you select the target group, how you can select the portfolio, how you will create the strategy that will follow with the KPI and measure exactly the real effects and the result of your business. Now, I just want to share with you something which is really important for the Indian car industry. Is understand the COVID-19 impact of the India car industry. I will share one video with you. Can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear.
Can you hear?
Yeah,
Video sound is not there.
It's okay? Sorry.
Professor Vesna, we can't hear video voice. Please.
You cannot hear the sound?
Yeah, we can't hear. So
It's
please
not
check.
possible
Please
to
check.
share the audio. Only video can be shared by this process.
I'm not talking, I'm just sharing the video with you. Just to check if everything okay with the video. Because of that. Let's try again. If not, can you hear now?
No, voice is not audible. Can I request you to please explain the things, whatever? I mean,
So actually, she's sharing her screen, so there's no option. You can only whatever is there is on the screen. The audio is not audible to any of the panelists or the attendees or anyone.
I'm just sharing the video with you, and can you hear the sound of the video?
video voice is not audible. I would request you to explain yourself.
Okay, never mind. Oh, I will explain. What is really important to know? It is important that automakers with, let's say, there is a lot of declines of sales now in the car industry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. And what will happen? Now, they need to find a way how they will save the cost. For example, Volkswagen brand in, let's say in India, they lost 95% of the sales comparing to the previous year. And all other, let's say, car players, they have massive, let's say, decline in sales, and they need to find the solution what they will do in the future. Some of them, let's say, they think about new design of the car because they need to find the way how they will answer to this COVID-19 impact. They will, let's say, redesign in the terms of they will add some ventilators in their car, like Tesla will did, like let's say electrical vehicle example, and all other automakers. Some of them need to, let's say, maybe also to close the plants because they do not have possibilities. Let's say they already produce some cars, but they have now really difficulty to sell this car because of this crisis. What will happen, we will see, because a lot of, let's say, people are now afraid and they save money in this difficult situation. This is the reason why this, let's say, sales of car decrease, because some of the people also lost their job during this crisis. What will happen, we will see, but I think that will be a lot of, let's say, changes, and that a lot of brands will really try to find a way to, let's say, to find a good, let's say, prices and maybe some discounts to, let's say, encourage people to buy more, or to find, let's say, some replacement if somebody already owned their brands, to replace the old car for the new car. That will be a lot of different strategies that will be really actual in the future. Sorry, because of that, I really thought that we can also do parallel with YouTube, but never mind. The conclusion is that automakers should find the way to respond to this crisis. And what will be the negative impact, that they need to close, let's say, some plants. But the other opportunity will be to find some niche segments and to find the way how, let's say, Indian population will buy new car and used car segment. Because as I told you before, it will not be only about new car sales, but it will be also a lot of people will buy also the used car segment, which should be another possibility for people to have the car. Now, when we discuss about the industry business cases, let's move and think about e-commerce business. We know that India is really strong in IT and businesses, and especially in e-commerce business. And when I ask people how you can make money in e-commerce business, a lot of people discuss, okay, we know to create the apps, we know to create some website, we know to create some platform, but they are always struggling with, because they are not really aware how to, let's say, make money in e-commerce business. I choose, let's say, to discuss with you one really successful startup. It is the startup from the fashion industry. It's called Zelingo. And Zelingo is a fashion startup owned by CEO from this startup is from India. Her name is Ankiti Bose, and she is 27 years old. She was in one trip in Thailand, and she got idea to open the e-commerce business with her, let's say, co-founder friend from Singapore. They let's say, established this business in 2015, and right now she's the first Indian woman to co-found 1 billion startup. And I think it's really good example, because for the short period they really grow a business, not only in Asia, but they also grow, you will see later, in other countries. I think it's really interesting when we talk about fashion, because fashion is really, let's say, the typical industry where you have a lot of users that want to buy, let's say, this kind of fashion online. And they have more than 7 million active users on their platform. But if you really want to understand their business model, how the business model looks like, let's elaborate more. Zelingo is e-commerce platform, but what are the primary target group for Zelingo company? If we understand the fashion industry and the startup Zelingo, we can see that they are just what the CEO recognized, potential to help small fashion sellers, because small fashion sellers do not have possibility and know-how to go online. They just sell their product in their shops, and they provide opportunities and to create B2B platform, which is really important. B2B platform, and they connect with a lot of partners and provide them the all services. You will see later how they makes revenue, because this is crucial for the e-commerce opportunity, just to know. Another important thing, they also have B2C e-commerce model that sell to final user the opportunity to buy from Zelingo platform. And this is B2B, B2C e-commerce platform. One similar example we can find in India also. I'm sure that you are aware of the Pepperfry business. They are also the business that help Indian small, let's say, furniture sellers to be online. And Pepperfry from India also help them to develop this kind of platform that help, let's say, small businesses to be online. Let's elaborate more. Just to be really clear, now what you need to understand that this Zelingo, as a small startup of fashion industry, they make more money with this segment, with these small sellers that they want to be online. 80% of revenue comes from the B2B operation, and only 20% of revenue it is from the business to consumer operation. Now, when you take a look on the map, you can see that they already developed, let's say, a lot of their operations. They are present in South Asia market and also in Bangladesh and India. And if we take a look, we can see that they are also present in US. But in other countries, they are also emphasized are Thailand, Indonesia, and Philippines. Now, it's not enough only to understand the target group. What is really important to know It is the business model that the Zelingo use. Like when you solve the case study, the crucial things is to know how you can provide the benefits for your target group. Now we can see the customer journey of one small, let's say, seller that they sell fashion, what they need to do. The whole process looks like this. Zelingo is e-service provider for all services, for marketing, for finance, for logistics. They also provide the trends in fashion industry. And this is why the big data analytics is important right now, because they provide, for example, what will be the trends, what the people in India will wear, let's say, in the next season. Based on that, they can sell this data and they can earn a lot of money. They can also provide some marketing service, because a lot of smaller, let's say, fashion sellers don't have, let's say, know-how how to do. They just need free registration, and they need to find a way how they will, let's say, position on the Zelingo. They can pay for this kind of marketing service, and they need to list 5 SKUs. Also, they charge commission for that. Another important thing also is to think about logistics, because you know that in e-commerce business, logistics is something really complex and you need to pay a lot. But Zelingo provide them to, let's say, to have 3-part logistic partners just to pay for that. You can pay all the things to the Zelingo to do the things for you. And the crucial thing and the main for conclusion is to know Zelingo monetization strategy. The different revenue stream, there are 3 revenue streams that Zelingo use from small sellers. First revenue stream is 15 to 20% sales revenue as a commission, and also per order fee. This is combination between subscription and transaction model. Another revenue stream is marketing as a service, which is, let's say, they provide them opportunity to use some digital tools. And the third thing, if they don't have money, they also provide them some loan, which is really important for the small business in the time of crisis. And at the end, they also can ask for logistics as a service. All of these, let's say, services are possibilities for Zelingo as a small fashion e-commerce startup to earn money. Now, let's take a look at the market expansion. Before COVID-19 and after, we will discuss what will happen after this crisis. When we discuss about marketing expansion, what is crucial to know? You need to find, let's say, the countries where you will, let's say, provide a secure market growth as a company. Now, focusing on the fashion sellers as a key business segment, the successful business model of Zelingo encouraged 3 different, let's say, business models. Let's first of all talk about India. India is a sourcing hub for Zelingo. And we also know that India is outside the China. And because of the war, of trade war of US and China, there is a huge opportunity from India, because India could provide economical skills, and it is the most important sourcing hub in the world. Now, also what Zelingo see as opportunity to open, let's say, also some sourcing possibility in Bangladesh, because that will be the business model that the companies now need to know, to find a secure sourcing hub. That is something that in the COVID-19 crisis, really for a lot of companies was a critical part in their supply chain, because they didn't have opportunity to find the right supplier. Now, what is the second business model that Zelingo did? they also did something different in Thailand and Indonesia. Thailand and Indonesia are also a country from Asia, but what was really interesting for them, the people from Thailand, they want first of all to see, let's say, the shop, and after that to buy online. This is the reason why they need to open some shop offline and to provide opportunity to connect with online. And this is offline to online channel integration strategy. And the third possibility for the startup was US. They entered into US exclusively with e-commerce platform, because the sales of, let's say, fashion in US, it's really huge in e-commerce business. Also, they want to do the same thing in Latin America. When you solve cases about the startup, you should have this in mind. All startups need to have a possibility to scale their business really fast. And if they find a good pilot market, they can scale the business model if this model is similar, like in this example. But now, what we can see, during the coronavirus, what happened? Zelingo did something really good. They found the way to provide some protective equipment for the healthcare professional. Like Professor Tariq already said, it will be really good to take care about health sector and the health industry. And they provide a lot of, let's say, protective equipment for hospitals across India, Asia, and Singapore. That was something really positive, because they showed the social responsibility for the health workers. On another side, what happened? They need just to think about their workers, because they are startups and they didn't have money to finance all employees. Because of that, they decided to dismiss 44 employees in Singapore. And that was really negative in the terms of, you know, the people. Because of this, let's say, problem with money, they decide to focus only on Asia as a core market and to stop their plan, and they just close their operation in US. This is another conclusion that we can see, like response of COVID-19, because a lot of companies will close their business globally and they will focus more locally and regionally, like Zelingo did. They're focused on Asia and emerging markets in Asia. Now, when we also explain the cases, how to solve the cases in e-commerce business, let's see now how to prepare for the future career path after COVID-19. How you, as a person, should create competitive advantage, how you will create the best team and adopt your communication skills. And the model that you can use, that I create, like a model for personal brand. That will be important, because you need to be recognized as a person, because digital world provide opportunity to somebody recognize you, and you also, if you apply for some job, you can use your, let's say, competitive advantage, why you are unique, and that will help you to be, let's say, recognized. The model 3C plus exists of 3 steps. First of all, you need to create competitive advantage. You need to find where you are the best. This is the first step and the most important step. The second thing is to connect with people that are your best, the best in the something that you are not good, and to create strong teams. And the last thing is to communicate with different, let's say, partners and stakeholders that you need to achieve, let's say, your objective. What is connected between all of these steps? The starting point is purpose. You need to find a way and find what really drives you to work on some things. And now, like we have, let's say, a lot of things to discuss, but what is the key crucial message that I want to share with you? How to be original. Be original, avoid cliches, and be yourself. Position yourself and try to find your focus where you are the best. And forget that there are weaknesses. I will strongly emphasize that there is no weaknesses. There is only area for improvements. The second thing what you need to know is in the, let's say, how you will create successful teams. Successful teams you will create like you have people who will collaborate or better than you, and you can learn and create revenue sharing model that will help you, let's say, to earn more money and to find new revenue stream. And the end of the story, you need to communicate, carefully listen, because when you listen, you can provide something that will provide you success in the terms of feedback and successful communication with all target audience. Thank you very much for your attention. And I'm really happy to share all, let's say, experience with you. And now I'm open if you have any question, just maybe we can also discuss a little bit about this topic. We can hear now, yeah? I hear you, Professor.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It was okay. Do you have some question, maybe?
Just one.
You have really tongue-tied us, actually. So we are not able to think what to ask you.
Great, sir.
I'd just like to share, because we discuss, let's talk about different industry from India, you know, like car industry, like delivery industry, food delivery, and also to cover some e-commerce business. I think all of this industry are really growing industry in India. And I'm sure that a lot of this, let's say, situation regarding the COVID-19 will change the landscape that we are living now, you know. And this is the things that I want to emphasize, that we need not only to understand like the cases, as Tariq already mentioned, from one discipline, like from marketing, from finance, from HR, but we need to connect our knowledge together, like professor from different disciplines, and we need to understand the business, the business logic, business models behind the business. And what we need to know, we need to learn our students how to earn more money and how to save the cost. This is the only thing that consulting business like to hear. At the end. Yeah, something Q&A, yes, I have.
In case audience has some query or some discussion they want to make or they want to discuss, they can send by chat.
Yeah, please feel free to ask, the participant can feel free to ask us, or they can send email to us or send emails to the
okay, they ask, I can answer, no problem. They ask a question about in India, automobile sector has already affected due to service delivered by Uber, Ola. I believe now people will avoid the service provided by this company, and people would prefer to do the personal car. Yeah, exactly, because they are really care about safety of their health, and people are now thinking about their health. They are afraid to, let's say, use the services, but I'm not sure, because I will tell you the situation here in Serbia. We also have this delivery service, and people don't use a lot. They are more prepared to go by their own personal car, but you have some people, young generation, that they are not afraid. It depends, you know, of the target group, because you have younger people that are not afraid. They use masks and they also use I totally agree that the let's say the services, like the usage of these services will decrease, because a lot of people now are afraid not only to to go by car or different services. People are afraid to travel. People are afraid to go to some events. One example for this, my friend sent me from Germany. They watch some music concerts in the cars. Can you imagine? They just stay in the cars and listen to the concert. It's totally different, let's say, type of how the events will be now, I think, after the COVID. And that depends. I'm not sure how it is in India, but I think younger people will be, let's say, more flexible to use this service.
In India, doctor, you know what happened? It is the fifth phase of the lockdown. We have entered in the fifth phase. Yes, from 1st of June, we have entered in the fifth phase of lockdown. But at the same time, we started the unlocking period also. We have started first unlock. And today I went outside and I found that it appeared that there has never been any kind of lockdown in the country. Everybody is behaving the same way as they were behaving in the past. There's no change in the system. All the things have been allowed because Indian immunity is very different. We Indians are quite immune, and when it comes to immunity, I think we are ahead of many countries. So I mean, suddenly our government, which was highly apprehensive, all of a sudden they have opened up everything. So I'm afraid what is going to happen. I don't know what will happen in the near future. The number of cases is going up every day. But at the same time, because the survival rate is very good, people are not dying because of the corona. And that's why people are not afraid of it. So we Indians have, I think our government also has learned to believe that now we can survive with corona actually. So that's why there's no kind of fear psychosis in the society as such.
Yeah. Yes.
True. Absolutely, sir. Right.
Well, can I ask one question from Professor Vesna?
Yes, you can ask whatever you like.
I believe you had been teaching case studies across the world,
Yes.
as I have heard, and now it is online. You had been teaching offline, I believe, most of the time, but this time it is online. Is there a difference? How do you feel the difference? And what is possibly the catch point?
I feel the difference is because when you teach in the classroom, you have possibility to observe, like say the students, and to see their reaction. This is the first thing. The second thing, based on their reaction, you can see what you need to do, because you have, let's say, discussion plan, and you can move on some other things, and based on their, let's say, behavior, you can maybe skip and ask something, and based on their answer to conclude how you continue the class discussion. This is something that I think it's better in the classroom.
Exactly. That is actually what I felt, because I had been teaching, I have been taking up cases. I'm a visiting professor at IIM also. So, I mean, the difference is that the personal touch is missing. So you cannot really involve the participants that good, that effectively, or in an online effort. I believe that's a missing point, I think.
Yes, it's a huge missing point, because you cannot engage them like in the classroom. It's really hard. It's harder to engage them. And we did this with one, let's say, case. I teach like sales management course this semester. We provide them the case, and we have online lectures. But what was every week we spend with them some, let's say, new topics regarding the cases, and after the classroom we provide them some questions, and they need to answer to this question. That was the way how we support interaction. And after that, we have this kind of key takeaways that they can learn from the classroom. That was the way how we, let's say, engage them.
And also, Vesna, we can give them to provide the teaching and the research notes, so that it will be more effective for the learning, so that we can easily achieve the learning outcome as well.
Yes, sure. I think the teaching notes are important, but from my point of view, I like to use the cases that I write, and the cases that I know that are good, you have good writing cases, you know. And I have question regarding this. I can share with you, I wrote a paper about that, how to write cases and teaching notes. And I can share that with you, and you can share with this panelists, because they asked me about some advice. But if you need some additional things, because when we discuss about this, if you discuss about some brands that they are familiar with, they will be more engaged, okay? If you provide some good companies from India, they will really follow your lecture, you know, because it will be, I think it will be really good to have knowledge about some local and regional brands, and to find a way what you really want from the class. If you provide good learning outcomes, as you said, in teaching notes, that will be good.
And also, Vesna, I must say here that how the facilitator is choosing the best cases from various databases, like from Harvard Business Cases, or from BBIC case database, or EMRAL cases, or from choosing the right best research paper related to the case studies. So choosing or selecting the cases from different databases is also very important for the learner.
Yes, for sure. I totally agree with you, Professor Tariq. It's important, but what I want to emphasize here, it's good to have your own university database, you know? Because that will be something that will differentiate from other universities. I agree, you can use the different cases, but when you write cases, for example,
once we start learning with a different flavor from the different market scenarios, such as like we can say that like human resources or leadership is basically the it could be the competitive advantage of individual the company. So for this performance management, we can also analyze with other countries, such as like European countries or American countries. Once we start learning from India, let's say the leadership, like the case of Ratan Tata. Ratan Tata is one of the top, one of the best industry leader in India.
I think Professor Tariq, that depends on the type of case that we are going to choose, depends on the topic and the subject that we are going to choose. Well, Vesna, we have another question from one of our attendees, that can you tell us how to improve the skills of case study writing, some vital points that need to be taken care of while writing the case study?
Yes, I will share this paper. I already told you that I wrote about that, but I can tell you from my personal experience. I usually like to meet with some managers, okay? Because a lot of companies like to collaborate with us, and we like to write live cases. We discuss about the issues that they have, and after that we figure out what will be the possible outcome from the classroom, okay? And for example, they have a need to think about how to create product or service for young generation, for generation Z or for generation Y. And this is the way how we create the topic for the case, you know? First of all, we define the topic, and after that, we define the structure of the case. Like the structure, we are starting from, let's say, opening paragraph and general things, moving to some specific things that we want to emphasize. Also, we usually invite managers to present the cases to the students, which is more effective at the beginning. And after that, we are working with students the whole semester, for example, one case. And this is really good because we invite company representative to be part of, let's say, to evaluate the works with us. And this is how we learn together. Regarding the writing skills, I can share with you this research paper that I wrote. And this is how to write cases and teaching notes in marketing, if you want to see this.
That would be great. Vesna, we have one more question from Mr. Salman Shamsi, that many times some important aspects are uncovered during offline or online discussions. Please suggest how to cope up with this limitation. Certain points if missed while discussing the case study.
Yes.
So how to cover that limitation?
Can you me elaborate more. You think when we are doing offline, which is
Yeah, offline discussion, which is missing in online effort.
what I explain you, what I ask student, what will be the best way, and they told me that what they like when you finish your lecture, okay, or maybe in some part of the lecture, you can ask them some question and use this chat, okay, chat bottom, and you can ask them question, and who you will follow answers from them who will respond. If they don't respond good, you will provide the answers. This is the only way that I did before, but I heard from my students, because we are now competing online, okay, we have the competition in Hong Kong this week. I can share with you their experience, because they find the tool that they can put some stickers online. You have some programs, and that you can include students in discussion. But honestly, I didn't use, but my students use this, and they told me it's really good when you want to encourage discussion online, if that was the question.
Well, to add your point, Vesna, I believe I would just like to share my experience while teaching in my class. I always provide the case study in advance to the students, and I ask them to prepare a presentation on that, and then make them to present, and then start discussing the things, and then we take up their viewpoint, and we try to match up with the things, the questions that we have raised. So possibly online as well, we need to share the things well in advance, the possible questions, the possible case study that we are going to take up, and those type, and some of the activities, if need to be done by the students, that need to be explained beforehand. Then only possibly online efforts could be more pragmatic while delivering a case study.
Yes, but I strongly believe if you we organize, for example, I'm not sure, you have like presentation of teams, and all of them present amongst the whole class, yeah?
Yeah.
This is good.
Maybe one or two groups, and then share, because then you get the students' ideas, and then you can deliberate where the variance is there, and that makes the thinking process ignited.
Yes, we do the same, but what we just add, we invite company representatives to provide us, that's it. But we did the same things. It's good to know, you know, because I agree with you that offline is more effective from my point of view, because you can engage more and you can follow the whole situation.
Definitely. But given the limitation, given the constraints, Salman, I believe that online we can try, and let us give our best, whatever. The only point is that we need to engage the students as well. We have to keep on interacting, because, for instance, now your question is being responded, and I am sure that you would be more attentive than when compared to all your attention throughout the lecture. So I think engaging the student is a trick. We can try. We can have the whole class in the meeting mode rather than in the webinar mode, and we can involve them more. We can raise certain interesting questions, some humor and things of that kind. That is, I believe, the part of the game, Vesna.
Yes, I
How do we do that?
We should combine and learn. It's not easy, but we will try to improve ourselves.
Of course. It's a new challenge before us, and
yes, sure.
taking up. Yeah, I think this is a case in itself to be taken care of. That everything cannot be taught online.
Yeah, sure. So, it's a good possibility for us to meet online.
Yeah, because I have a very strong observation. I believe that the developing world may be tempted to go online more and ignore the offline in the post-COVID era, which would be a disaster to the education system of those countries. In the name of economizing on the resource issues, they might be tempted. Yeah. While the effective learning does take place offline much more. This is what I believe.
We will see. We should be flexible, but I agree with you that
yes,
offline is more effective. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
As in the beginning, you mentioned that we need to blend, I think, offline and online. Okay, thank you very much, both the panelists.
Thank you,
We
sir.
have been honored and immensely benefited academically. Thank you, Tariq, for
Thank you, sir.
weaving in Vesna with us. And I hope
you.
to have more fruitful deliberations in near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
you,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you very much for inviting us. Thank you.
Thank you for opportunity.
Thank you,
Keep
Dean
in
sir.
touch.
Thank you, Chairman sir. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you, both of you. Thank you, sir.
And all the best